Welcome back, everybody, to the Driven Dave YouTube channel. We are back today, which is probably going to be part two of the 2009 Honda Fit. I'm really excited. As I mentioned on my part one video, hopefully I'll have a link to it here or somewhere, where we do kind of the interior and the exterior kind of walk around and in-depth tour. Hope you enjoy that. Please check that out. And so today we're going to go for a little drive up here on Big Tujunga and check it out. So here we go. We're going to just start out in regular, not sport mode. Just going to kind of tool along here and see how the car performs. Apologize for the wind noise. It's hot today, so we're going to rock some air conditioning. It's like my camera is falling. So immediately, first impressions would just have to be that, like, it's a pretty comfortable ride, but it's a little bumpy. Again, we're dealing with a small car, small tires. Hopefully I'll have the tire size for you guys too. I'll put that on the screen. Not sure of the condition of these tires either. They don't appear to be new. So I'm thinking some newer tires, you probably have less road noise. I'll turn the fan off for a second. There is a good bit of road noise. Again, this is a commuter car, so you're not really going to get, this isn't, a Lexus or a, whoops. My camera fell. There, we'll just try it this way. So, this is not a Lexus or a Acura or, something like that where you'd have a little bit more damping from road noise. Oh boy, it's getting hot. Turn that fan back on. It is August and it's hot. So, hope y'all can deal with that. This gimbal, I tell you. I'm sure it works great. Here we go. It's just hard to do two things at once. But here we go. The road's starting to get a little bit more interesting. There's Corvette, Camaro. And a Civic, I think. So as we start to get into the twisties a little bit, honestly, the car is really, really nice to drive. I think what it impresses me is not so much the front suspension, although it's very responsive, but it's actually how the rear tires kind of grip. I like that very much. Brakes. This car could probably use some resurfacing of the rotors, but even with slightly warped rotors, it's very responsive. It's very nice. We got stuck behind a slowpoke. But that's okay. Again, the engine, very, very responsive. And I think a lot of that is due to the transmission. It's geared really well. It's very eager. You kind of just get the feeling that this car, it wants to please. It wants to, just kind of zip around, which is cool. I'd sure like to zip around this slow pickup truck. So again, there is a bit of road noise, but we are in a commuter car. If you were just doing like a bunch of kind of local stuff, I don't think you would even notice. On the freeway, it might be a little noisier. I'm not sure, as I just haven't spent a lot of time behind the wheel yet. But as I mentioned, I love cars, and I like to drive all of them. And so the chance to get behind the wheel of a 2009 Honda, I'm super excited today. So I'm going to drop us into sport mode, as this pickup truck has now slowed to 20 miles per hour. Gosh. Come on. Gotta be kidding me. You could just pull over. If you or someone you know is like this, we're not friends. We are no longer friends. But I'm sure everybody watching this channel wouldn't be a road hog like this. This is crazy, man. She's going like 20 miles per hour. So we're going to test the passing power of this car very soon. There we go. Let's do full throttle, see what's going on. Hey, man, that's pretty good. Not bad. And you know, we're already in Mexico, so we were certainly going the speed limit. Yeah, that was great. I like this car. Now we're having fun. Okay, so let's see how it handles the twisties here. You know, there's very little body roll. And you know, we're talking, this is a stock 2009 with 152,000 miles. It's hard to say if any of the suspension has been freshened up. I can tell you the steering is super tight. It doesn't wander around at all. And the sport mode really holds it in gear. Like, I'm really impressed. And you know, as I mentioned in my my other video, where I was doing the walk around and everything, if you watch that video, take a look at how small this 1.5 liter is. Like, it is a tiny motor, but I am really shocked with just how much get up and go this car has, especially in sport mode. You know, it just wants to. It really holds that gear. Let's see, where does it want to shift? Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is fun. It's got kind of like a go-kart, Mini Cooper kind of vibe to it, while at the same time being a Honda. Let's put it back into regular mode. Yeah, and then you went ahead and went into overdrive or fourth, I don't know. But yeah, it's better in sport. Yeah, this rules. So here we go. Let's give it a little bit of throttle, getting out of the corner. Okay, so we're going uphill. Here's where it's kind of running out of horsepower. I could use a little bit more. You know, it was holding that gear. It really felt like it had more to give, but that was it. It was just kind of, that's all. But man, what's amazing is I'm hitting these corners and my steering input is like a quarter turn. I'm one-handed driving this because I'm holding the camera in the other, and it's just amazing. I don't really have to slow down for these corners, and I can just like I said, just a little bit of steering input and it just grabs that corner. This is awesome. This is actually one of the funnest cars I've driven out here. I brought my Corvette out here, and I have to say it wasn't as fun as this Honda Fit. The Corvette's great, but it has a lot of power, so you can't really drive it at 10/10. You know, you have to drive that car at like 5/10, so that you don't get into trouble. But with this car, you know, you can drive it at 9/10, and you know, I could see owning one of these, doing some tasteful mods, you know, maybe some coilovers, you know, maybe like a more kind of grippy driver's seat, and you could do some crazy stuff, man. Maybe like intake and exhaust or something, I don't know. I'm sure there are all kinds of Honda people out there with some great mods. And I know the forums are huge for these cars. Not sure why that guy was walking around. They're trying to find a good turnaround spot soon. But man, this is just straight up fun. The other thing I wanted to mention about just the overall kind of ease of driving with this car would have to be the driving position. Honda really nailed it. I mean, even for a big guy like me, I feel like my elbow sits pretty nice right here on the window. The headrest is in the perfect spot. I think I can just hang a Yui right here. No, I'm not. I'll do it here. But yeah, I mean, like the headrest is kind of like in the perfect position, and that makes me happy. There we go. Check out that turning radius. All right, let's see. Here's where I kind of wanted to kick down a gear. I probably didn't give it enough throttle input, but you really do kind of feel, there we go. Got it to kick down as we go uphill. Pretty good. It likes to shift right around 6,000, under heavier load. And, it's got that nice four-cylinder sound. I could feel like maybe some better pads. If you were going to do a lot of driving like this, pads and tires would be great. But that's not what this car gets used for. This car is the A to B car. It does a lot of freeway driving. It does a lot of local driving, and it does a great job taking the kids and the animals and everything around. Picks up a lot of groceries. So it's not used as a more performance-oriented car. But man, super fun. Thank you, Mariano. And I'm being nice to your car, don't worry. I know it looks like I'm driving it hard, but it's okay. Again, that rear suspension, it's so nice, it's so balanced. You can kind of feel the car lean over, and you can feel the grip on the rear. And to me, that's where this car really shines. It's such a good chassis. And it's also just so nice to be a big guy in a small car and have plenty of room. Definitely has that, it just kind of reminds me of driving a go-kart. It's just everything is so immediate. While also not beating you up. Years ago, I rented a Mini Cooper S, which was just a hoot. I highly recommend checking those out. I've heard problems about reliability and such, but what a fun car. After having it for a day, or a couple of days, I can't remember, I just kind of felt beat up by the car. The suspension was really kind of too firm for my taste. And at the time, this was probably 10 years ago or more. And even back then, I was thinking, man, I don't think I could take this kind of a beating like on a daily basis from a car. And now that I'm older, I definitely prefer kind of a more cushy experience, a more isolated experience. And this car certainly provides a little bit of both. The seats are comfortable enough, I can certainly take a nap. They're comfortable enough that I can sit in them for a while. It's a good driving position. The car is sporty. It corners really well, but at the same time, when I hit a bump, it doesn't like rattle my spine. Oh, there's another. Just saw another Honda Fit. Looks like it was dropped on some coilovers and some of those tasteful mods I was talking about a few minutes ago. So that's kind of neat. Looks like we're rolling up on a Camaro here, but not a fun Camaro. Man, what is it with people today? I'm not trying to drive crazy, but think we could go a little faster, please? All right, well, what else can we talk about? We've got cruise control. I can see that it's on, so let's see if it works. Yeah, works great. So you've got steering wheel controls for your cruise in this car, which is nice. Also, leather wrapped steering wheel. Uh, it's showing some age, but it still feels quite nice. And I think if you put a cover on it, it would certainly feel really good. Um, but it's a nice steering wheel. It feels good in the hands. Um, it's a nice size. That's one thing that Honda really has been nailing for a long time. It's like, they've figured out how to make a car that you can get in and go. It's comfortable. It does what you need. And certainly if you want bells and whistles, they can do that too. But they've really nailed the honest to goodness car, which is great. And that's certainly what this Fit is. It's a car that would be very easy to live with, and that's cool. Um, like I said, lots of fun too. I know my brother-in-law really likes this car, and I can see why, because it's super cheap to operate. I think he gets. I was looking it up. I think like the city gas mileage is like 28, and highway is like 35. But I'm sure he's done better than that. And I've been keeping an eye on the gas gauge. It really hasn't moved with all of the hustling we've been doing here. And maybe it moved a little, but not much. Very efficient car. Very easy to drive. And I just can't say enough good things about this headrest. I love this position. And that's a really good way to eliminate driver fatigue, especially if you're a taller driver like me. And looking around, also, it looks like we've got some side curtain airbags. And I don't know if it has knee airbags. Probably not. 2009, we didn't see as many airbags as we do today, except on a few cars. I didn't expect the Fit to be like on the tail of the Camaro. Now they're hustling. I don't know what's going on with people today. We're kind of going downhill. The car really likes to just glide. It's holding that gear, that lower gear, because we're in sport mode. I would do the paddle shift, but I'm holding my camera with one hand, so it'll be a little more difficult to do that. But paddle shift works great. Love this sport mode. It really makes the car kind of aggressive, which is really neat. This car kind of reminds me of like, you ever see one of those like tiny dogs that thinks it's a big dog, like a little Chihuahua, but it's barking at people as if it's like a German Shepherd. That's kind of how this feels, especially in sport mode. It's like, come on, Camaro, get out of the way. I got places to go. This car thinks it has like 400 horsepower. I love that. And even the Toyota Corolla behind me is annoyed with this Camaro. Come on, man. Let's go. So this is usually the spot where I like to do a little 0 to 60 pull. But looks like the road's a little too busy today. If I can film that later, I will. If not, I'm sure somebody else has done a 0 to 60 with one of these cars. Man. Yellow with the black stripes? Come on. Hopefully camera number 2 is picking this up. They've got the look fast car. Come on, it's the pedal on the right. You can do it. I'm going to throw us back into regular. Use a little less fuel. Don't worry, Mariano, I'll top off your tank. Oh, someone's going to pass over the double yellow. That's, wow. Special. I'm not doing that. But we're pretty much back. So just to kind of summarize here, and I'm kind of reminded of the old Motor Week videos, which I know that show is still on. Huge shout out to John Davis and Motor Week. Just love that show. I think they do a thing where they talk about the hits and the misses. So I'm going to talk about the hits of this car. Hits would be, good room in a small package. Lots of storage room, especially in the back if you utilize that hatch. Really cool. Good driving position. Decent leg room front and back. Really, really good headroom. Huge plus for that. Good standard features too. You've got that aux input on the stereo. That's great. You also have cruise control. You also have power locks. You also have power windows. So, really nice, really good value for the money there. Let's talk about the misses. And the misses would just kind of be, I really can't even blame the car at this point. It's, it's from 2009. It's 2021 now. This car has some age on it. So there's some things that haven't maybe held up great over the test of time. The steering wheel, the leather's kind of disappearing on us. I noticed some trim was coming off on the passenger side window. It's a little, there are a few rattles and stuff, especially like the rear spoiler. Just kind of some noises that, would be nice not to hear. The shifter's a little loose. But really, engine works flawlessly. Transmission, excellent. Steering, excellent. Suspension, excellent. So considering that it's got 152,000 miles and it's as old as it is, some of those things can really be forgiven. And all of that stuff, if that wasn't going on, I don't think you'd know this car is as old as it is. Obviously, some of the dated technology gives it away, no backup camera, stuff like that, but it's really a good little car. The only things I kind of wish it had would be maybe a backup camera, maybe a little bit more stereo, maybe. Obviously, Apple CarPlay would be cool. I just don't know how you would install that, We'll take a look here. I don't know how you would install that here. I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure there's a kit to do it, but most of the time when you have kind of these odd shapes, it's kind of not worth the trouble. I mean, maybe you would install it underneath somehow. Also really nice, you've got a little storage space up there and a glove box. So you really do get a lot here. It's a big things in small packages here, and really cool. So I think that kind of concludes our canyon drive. Now we're back on the city streets doing our thing, and this is where this car is really, really in its element, is just doing your local commuting. And AC is cold, and seats are comfortable. What more do you need? So again, huge thank you to my brother-in-law Mariano for letting me use his car and having it on the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Of course, most importantly, like, subscribe, comment down below. Please help me out, help me grow the channel. I'm looking forward to bringing more content, more cars, and hopefully get kind of more of a regular upload schedule going. Cars that are coming up, of course, I just released my Kia Optima plug-in hybrid video. Check that out. It's actually another two-part series, one interior and one exterior. I also got to take a ride in a 1 million mile Herbie Tribute replica car. That was a lot of fun. My friend Clayton knows everything about Volkswagen Beetles, and that was a really fun time. I'm also going to be bringing a 2002 Lexus LS430 to the channel. I've also got a 2008 Sienna Limited, and I think you guys are really going to like that. I've got a 2006 Corvette that's going to be coming to the channel. Probably also a 2003 Lincoln Town Car, and a whole bunch of other cars. I've got some friends that have volunteered their cars, which makes me super happy. It's just great to share some unique things with you guys, and it's also nice for me that my friends and family are willing to share their unique cars with me. So again, today was a really, really nice treat, getting to drive a car that I've never driven, and I'm always excited to drive a car that I haven't driven before. Because like I said, I love cars, and I especially like daily driver cars. This is just, right up my alley. So anyway, once again, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care.